Feel free to check out my TeePublic after the video, and support me on Patreon. Watch till the end of the video for more. Well, here we are, the fourth and final part of my 10,000 subscribers celebration, where in honor of the 55th anniversary of the Gamera series, I take a look at all the films. Now we step into the modern era of Gamera with 2006's Gamera the Brave, directed by Ryuta Tasaki, who's known for directing a lot of tokusatsu works for Toei. You ever seen The Iron Giant? Imagine that, but with a giant turtle and a monster battle at the end. The film opens in 1973, where Gamera's battling a horde of Gyaos as they slowly get the upper hand, leaving him no choice but to sacrifice himself to save children by exploding. Fast forward decades later, and we follow a boy named Toru, played by Ryo Tomioka, as he befriends a turtle that hatches from an egg he came across one day. As time goes on, this turtle that Toru named Toto starts growing drastically at sudden moments, and gains the ability to fly. It also turns out that Toto is a sort of reincarnation of Gamera who was reborn after his death decades prior. There's also a monster named Zetus who begins to terrorize Japan, and you already know where this is going. I honestly can't get over how adorable and wholesome this movie is. It's such a really nice comfort movie with some really sweet moments here and there. My favorite bit is when a knife is dropped in front of Toto, and it just so happens that the knife resembles Giran, and he blows a fireball at it. It has a lot of soul, and the bond that forms between Toru and Toto is the driving force of the film, and there's some really good drama here and there. It's also really nice to see the series go back to the friend of all children Gamera. Other than that, there's some really nice effects going on. Zetus has a very interesting design, really digging the dinosaur aesthetic, and Toto doesn't look too bad actually. Though it is odd how he has the 70s King Kong roar. And of course, the fight between Toto and Zetus is really entertaining with some gorgeous set pieces in action. What can I say? Gamera the Brave is such a good film. Last video I mentioned that I cover some other things related to Gamera. While I won't cover exactly everything, I will cover stuff that I feel is worth mentioning. First off, we have the Gamera Guardian of the Universe 4-issue run from Dark Horse Comics. That's right, Dark Horse did both Godzilla and Gamera, and their Gamera comics were, well, for lack of a better term, lacking. It's set after Guardian of the Universe, and it features some Showa kaiju like Ziggurar and Virus. Instead of wasting my breath over how underwhelming these are, I'll just recommend you check out my good buddy Daikaiju Tony and his review on the Dark Horse Gamera comics. He's a bigger comic nerd than I am, and if there's anyone I know who can pretty much do a comic book justice, it's that guy. Speaking of comics, there's also The Last Hope, which was written and illustrated by none other than Matt Frank as a fan comic, until Kadokawa actually got it licensed, and unlike the Dark Horse Gamera comics, this one's actually canon, I think. Keep in mind, this started as a fan comic, so canonization wasn't exactly on Matt Frank's mind. You can really see his love and passion for the Gamera series and the established mythos of the Heisei trilogy, as it's really just one big love letter to the whole thing. And it's honestly impressive that this thing was originally just a fan project and was never meant to be an official piece of Gamera media. Also in the last video I mentioned Gamera 4 Truth, released in 2003, directed by Shinpei Hayashiya, who is still producing independent kaiju films to this day. It runs for about 45 minutes and is a direct follow-up to Revenge of Iris. As far as I know, there have only been very few special screenings for it, including one at G-Fest in 2014 as an invite-only event. As of now, there is no real physical way to actually own it, nor is it circulating online save for a few clips. And the special cherry on top of this sundae that's already topped with whipped cream as white as the albino Gyaos is that director Shusuke Kaneko of the Gamera trilogy has not only seen the movie, but liked it. So yeah, even the man himself gave it his approval. But wait, didn't Revenge of Iris end on a cliffhanger, and didn't that do very well? Isn't that enough to warrant an official Gamera 4? Well, according to Shusuke Kaneko, he never intended to do a fourth movie, saying that to him, his trilogy was always meant to be a 3-act play, making Shinpei Hayashiya's Gamera 4 Truth a fun little what-if story. Did you know that in 2005, Cartoon Network acquired a license to create a Gamera series planned for 2007 and nothing else ever came from it because Gamera the Brave underperformed? Actually, that's technically not true because there is a pilot named Welcome to My Life created by Elizabeth Ito in 2015, and there is a Gamera Easter egg in there, along with Godzilla. Other than that, it's a very nice wholesome little short and I honestly recommend checking it out. And you know, considering that Pacific Rim The Black is happening despite how poorly received Pacific Rim Downfall was, and how Kadokawa has been focusing more on anime recently, maybe there's hope for a future Gamera animated series. I mean, they did have Gamera crossover in a couple of mobile games in Japan, and it wasn't too long ago that there was a theatrical re-release for Gamera Guardian of the Universe at the time of this video. But something else also happened in 2015. At New York Comic Con, something really special came. I remember hearing rumors about a new Gamera film that was supposedly in the works since 2014, and there was a point where I haven't heard anything in a while until this trailer appeared. A trailer for what many people thought was a new Gamera film, and everyone's minds were blown, at least on the internet side of things. From what I hear, people at Comic Con weren't too thrilled. But ever since it came, I've heard mixed things about what it was actually meant to be. I keep hearing some people say that it was a proof of concept trailer that Kadokawa was using to find anyone who was willing to invest in their project but couldn't find anyone, or that it was simply just a 50th anniversary celebratory short film. People keep saying all these different things that don't really line up to one another. A lot of sources say it's the latter, but who knows, maybe it's an anniversary short with the hope that something will eventually come in the future. Oh yeah, and this was a thing. You know, if you're gonna have a survival video game with Godzilla, Gamera, Ultraman, Eva Unit 1, and Labors with other characters from their respective franchises, why on earth would you not have them cross over? And while I haven't played the game myself, I do hear it's pretty underwhelming to say the least. But I cannot talk about the history of Gamera and not mention Mystery Science Theater 3000, specifically the episodes for Gamera the Giant Monster, Barugan, Gyaos, Giran, and Zigra. For those unaware, Mystery Science Theater 3000 is a show where a group of characters riff on old classic B-movies ranging from weird to awful, providing some really funny commentary.
You know, guys, it just dawned on me how weird this film is, you know?
They also did one for Godzilla vs. Megalon, which is perhaps the one they're mostly known for. It was thanks to this particular show that helped a lot of people become aware of movies like Godzilla and Gamera, giving their stateside popularity a big boost. Even my friend Derek from Bonus Commentary, who I collaborated with in part 2 of this retrospective series, said that his first exposure to Gamera was the MST3K episode on Gamera vs. Giran. And you're probably wondering, why didn't they do Virus, Jiger, and Super Monster? Well, I'm very glad to inform you that there's a channel called Branzant Films where you can find some beautifully made and incredibly well written and hilarious fan episodes of MST3K where him, Kaiju Noir, and Ace Marrok sit through Virus and Jiger, with Super Monster coming soon. And it's some really funny stuff.
Oh god. No. Well, it finally happened. This movie broke my suspension of disbelief. Right there.
There it went.
And Nshama's in them too. These are all really cool guys, and it would mean the world to me if you all went to go check them out. I'll put a link in the description. Have you ever wondered why we have never gotten a Godzilla vs. Gamera film or anything? Well, here's the answer. There actually was a Godzilla vs. Gamera. You've just never seen it, or probably heard of it. In part 2 of my retrospective, I mentioned that Godzilla vs. Gamera stage show that took place in the same expo building where some of Gamera vs. Jiger was shot in 1970. I figured bringing that up would make a neat little sprinkle on that video, but upon writing the script for this one, I realized that I did not do good justice to that stage show. Why? Because this stage show in particular is lost media. Yep, meaning there's absolutely no way to actually see this anymore, at least not in its entirety. It was a collaborative effort by both Toho and Daiei featuring Godzilla, Gorosaurus, Minya, Gamera, Jiger, and the Space Gyaos. All we know was that it was nothing but a big monster brawl that was performed only once a night for 10 days straight. At the time of this video, there's hardly any footage of this thing anywhere online, save for some photos that were taken during the event, as well as this very short snippet of Godzilla played by Haruo Nakajima himself, and a space Gauss. And the rest is history. The Godzilla vs. Gamera stage show has become infamous in the kaijun tokusatsu fanbases, being hailed as one of the holy grails of lost media, up there with the original Japanese Kong films. Will we ever get to see a full recording of the stage show? Only time will tell. Guess we'll have to settle for this Shin Godzilla display for now. So that pretty much wraps up this entire retrospective on the Gamera series. Thank you all so much for joining me on this journey. And once again, thank you all so much for 10,000 subscribers. I really cannot stress how happy I was when I finally reached that number. Like, seriously, you guys are the best. And I really appreciate those who stuck around for so long, just being big supporters of the channel. Hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, then definitely consider supporting me on Patreon, where for a single $1, your name can appear at the end of every future upload. Other than that, you can also get early access to videos, exclusive content, commissioned video requests, and receive a t-shirt of your choice from my TeePublic, like this design that celebrates the 55 years of Gamera. Once I reach enough patrons, I'll review the Yokai Monsters trilogy, so if that's something you'd like to see, then go support me on Patreon. Feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and this is Titan Goji, getting to work on something I know a good number of you have been waiting for.